Hey guys, Sahel here. Just wanted to do a quick video to help you guys get started with finding your niche and also coming up with ideas. So when you're trying to launch a campaign, there's really two parts to it. The first part is finding a buying niche. It's proven people are going to buy shirts out of it and other products. So to work out our buying niche, we generally use the site Teescover, which shows you up-to-date information of shirts selling on Teespring. It gives you a couple of tools so you can filter it by the number of shirts sold, whether it's active, inactive, both. Then you can just show X number per page. But we would generally go in here and look at anything that's sold, sometimes 200 plus, 250 plus or more, and flick through here, look at the designs, and then from that work out what niche they're targeting. Obviously, if you've sold 600 shirts like this one here for pilots, look at the design, really simple. You can tell that there's a buying market for pilots. If you're not convinced from here whether it's a buying niche or not, you can go to other sites like Zazzle or Amazon and do searches in there for, like pilot shirts or something like that. And then if there's shirts in here as well, it just backs up the fact that, there's a market there for targeting pilots. Other ways that you can come up with niches or ideas is things like trends. A lot of people do sell into trends. We've never really done it, but it seems to be a popular theme at the moment. Obviously not a consistent thing because it's harder to hit a trend that people are passionate enough about to buy shirts. But if you come across a trend every now and again, as long as you keep your eyes open to it, you can cash in, make a few $1,000s quite quickly because of something trending. So sites that you can use to find trends, things like BuzzFeed, go into here. Just make sure up the top here, depending on your location, will start off with a different default. If you're targeting the US or UK, then obviously you want to make the default relative to where you're targeting so that you get the trending topics in that area. Google Trends, obviously, you can go in here and you can choose the country that you want the trends for, and then try and find something interesting. Sports, you generally get a lot of good trends with, but you need to be careful just to make sure that you don't infringe any copyright there. You've also got to cite what the trend, so you could come in here and have a look for trends and things like that. Give you some ideas. Okay, so we've got niches, evergreen niches that you can keep selling into. So example of that, your pilots, which you can find off things like Teescover. If you see a trend shirt on Teescover, you're probably not going to try and do anything with it because by the time you see that, it's been done. Trends don't last very long, 3 to 5 days. So you get in quick, cash in and get out. But to find your buying evergreen niches, you use things like Teescover. If you're looking for trends, Google Trends, BuzzFeed, what the trend, verify what you find there with Zazzle and things like that so that you can, if you're not convinced that it's a buying market, then you can go and check Zazzle out. You could also use Twitter as well, and they have the trending topics and things like that in Twitter, so that's a valuable resource. So once you've got your idea or general idea, your niche, or your trend, then you need to come up with the actual, specifics of what you're going to put on a shirt. And that's where, again, we could use something like Teescover to see the type of slogans that people are putting on their shirts, see the saying that they've got there, and then tailor it to your niche. Other ways to find ideas would be to go to Google Images and do a search on, funny niche sayings or funny niche shirts and see what comes up on there. Sayings and quotes are good to search for, and obviously you want funny or something like that so that it sort of stirs people's interest. Another good one for finding quotes and sayings that you might be able to apply or tailor to your to your design in your niche is Pinterest. You can go into Pinterest and do funny cat lover quotes and have a look through there, get some inspiration on what you can put onto your design. And then again, things like Zazzle, Webster.me is the Instagram web search site, so you can go in here and search for nurse humor or nurse life or whatever your niche is that you're targeting to get some ideas of sayings, and you might even see shirts and stuff like that do relate to your niche. And again, we're using these things as inspiration, so we don't want to go and rip off an exact shirt like this one here, ask me about my cat. We're not going to go and whack that on a shirt, put it up on Teespring and start selling shirts on that because it's not right, I guess. So that gives you a basic idea of finding that buying niche and then obviously coming up with an idea, to sell into that niche. making sure that there's a niche there. And also, when you're looking at your T-Scovers and Zazzles and stuff like that, even if you don't like the saying or if you're not into that niche, it's really handy to look at the high sellers, and you can get some ideas on layout of the design. So you might not even use anything close to this saying for the idea you're coming up with, but you might just like the way it's laid out, because that obviously plays a big part in campaign and selling a lot of shirts. So, and if you're outsourcing to a designer, giving them an example of how you want the shirt to look by giving them a link to an existing campaign can definitely help. So that's another way you can use those T-Scovers and Google image search for, to get your campaign started. That's about it for this one. We can talk to you one-on-one about, looking at niches and things like that down the track, but this will give you a general idea. You could spend, as much or as little time doing this as you want. Obviously the more time you spend, the more niches and things like that you're going to come up with, the more ideas you're going to see. And, we trawl these sites daily, and sometimes it's 2 months down the track and we go, hey, how about we try this niche, and do you remember that shirt that sold really well in that niche? Why don't we try something similar here, modify the design, modify the saying slightly, and give it a go. So definitely pays to spend some good time on these and make notes of what's sold and that sort of thing, because you never know when you'll use it down the track. So yeah, hopefully that's given you plenty of tips. We've also got the proven niche document which we've sent through to a few people, but we'll have a link to that here as well, which is the 100 top niches that have sold in Teespring time and time again. So between that and then checking out the trending websites and also checking out T-Scover for your big sellers and finding out what niche they're selling into, hopefully you'll be able to find some niches, and then you can use your Pinterest and your Google image search, Zazzle, that to come up with some ideas of sayings and stuff that you can then put on your design as well. And we can launch the design and help you with your targeting, and we'll talk about that in another video. Cheers.